Let's travel back in time, way before smartphones and email. Imagine an office in the 1960s. It's a world buzzing with the clatter of typewriters and the ringing of landline phones. Every piece of information a business needed was physical. It was on paper. Think about that. Orders were written on carbon copy forms. Invoices were typed, put in envelopes and mailed. The accounting department was a library of enormous, heavy books called ledgers. Accountants with green visors would spend their days writing down every single transaction with a pen. It was a slow, careful process where a single mistake could take hours to find and fix. The heart of the office was the filing cabinet. Rows upon rows of them, stuffed with manila folders. Each folder held a different story, a customer's history, a supplier's contract, or an employee's records. Finding one specific piece of paper could feel like a treasure hunt. If the sales team wanted to know what a customer bought last year, someone had to physically walk to the filing room, find the right cabinet, pull out the right drawer, and flip through folders. This system worked, but it was incredibly slow and siloed. The people in accounting didn't easily know what the people in the warehouse were doing, and vice versa. Every department was like its own little island. The warehouse team kept track of inventory on clipboards, using handwritten lists to count boxes on shelves. The manufacturing floor had its own separate production schedules, often pinned to a corkboard. If the sales team made a huge sale, they would send a paper memo over to the warehouse. But that memo could get lost, or it might arrive after the warehouse had already planned its day. This disconnection often led to problems, like selling something that was out of stock or ordering too much material because nobody checked the current inventory levels. This manual world was prone to human error and inefficiency. Information moved at the speed of a person walking from one desk to another. Making a big decision, like whether to launch a new product, required gathering reports from many different departments. Each report was compiled by hand, and by the time they were all put together, the information might already be out of date. Businesses knew there had to be a better way. They needed a tool that could work faster and connect all these separate islands of information. The stage was set for a technological revolution, one that started with a simple idea, using computers to help with planning. Then came the 1970s and 1980s, and with them, the rise of the mainframe computer. These were giant machines, sometimes filling an entire room, with whirring tape reels and blinking lights. They were powerful for their time, and some very smart people realized they could be used for more than just crunching numbers for scientists. They could be used for business. This led to the creation of the first major business software systems known as Material Requirements Planning, or MRP. The goal of MRP was simple but revolutionary: to help manufacturers answer two key questions. What do we need to make, and what materials do we need to make it? An MRP system was a huge leap forward. Instead of relying on clipboards and guesswork, a factory manager could use a computer to figure out exactly what was needed. Let's say you were making bicycles. You would tell the MRP system that you needed to build 100 bikes. The system would then look at your bill of materials, a recipe that lists every single part, like 2 wheels, 1 frame, 1 handlebar, and so on. The MRP would then calculate that you needed 200 wheels and 100 frames. It would check your inventory and tell you exactly what parts you needed to order and when you needed to order them. This was amazing. These early systems were not very user-friendly. They ran on big, expensive mainframes, and you interacted with them using complex commands on a simple text-based screen. There were no mice, no icons, and certainly no pretty graphics. Only specially trained people could operate them, but for manufacturing companies, they were game changers. MRP systems helped reduce inventory costs because companies no longer had to keep huge stockpiles of extra parts just in case. They also helped prevent production delays caused by missing components. For the first time, a computer was helping to manage a core part of the business. This new way of thinking laid the foundation for everything that came next. The success of MRP got business leaders thinking, if a computer can help us manage our materials, what else can it help us manage? What if we could connect our manufacturing plans to our financial plans? This led to the next step in the evolution, called MRP2, Manufacturing Resource Planning. These newer systems started to include tools for financial planning and scheduling. The idea of a single, unified system for the whole business was starting to take shape, setting the stage for the massive software boom of the 1990s. The 1990s was the decade when everything came together. The islands of information were finally connected by a powerful new kind of software enterprise resource planning, or ERP. The name says it all. It was about planning the resources for the entire enterprise, not just one department. Companies like SAP, Oracle and Barn became giants by building massive, all-in-one software suites. The big idea was to have a single shared database for the whole company. This meant that when the sales team entered a new order, the information was instantly available to everyone else who needed it. Think about our bicycle company again. With an ERP system, when a salesperson enters an order for 100 bikes, the system doesn't just record the sale. It automatically checks the warehouse inventory. It tells the manufacturing floor to start building the bikes. It alerts the purchasing department to order more tires, and it tells the accounting department to create an invoice. All of this happens in real time from a single transaction. This level of integration was mind-blowing. It broke down the walls between departments and got everyone working from the same playbook, using the same set of facts. Implementing one of these 1990s ERP systems was a huge undertaking. These were complex, monolithic systems that could take years and millions of dollars to get up and running. Companies had to change their business processes to fit the way the software worked. It was a massive commitment, but the payoff was enormous. Businesses that successfully implemented an ERP system became more efficient, more organized, and more competitive. They could close their financial books faster, manage their supply chains better, and give their leaders a complete, unified view of the entire operation for the very first time. This era cemented the importance of a centralized system. No longer was business software just a tool for a single task. It was the digital backbone of the entire company. From human resources managing payroll to the CEO looking at a high-level financial dashboard, everyone was using the same system. This shared source of truth eliminated countless arguments and mistakes that came from different departments using different data. The foundation was now solid, but the next evolution would take this powerful engine and make it faster, more accessible, and easier to use by connecting it to the internet. The 2000s brought the internet into everyone's homes and offices, and ERP systems followed. The big, clunky software that used to live on a company's own servers began to move into the cloud. This meant that instead of buying and managing their own expensive hardware, companies could access their ERP software over the web, just like you access a website. This made ERPs more affordable and accessible, especially for smaller businesses that couldn't afford a multi-million-dollar IT department. Cloud ERP was faster to set up and could be accessed from anywhere with an internet connection, a huge step towards a more flexible way of working. Today, we are in the middle of another, even bigger revolution, the era of the intelligent ERP. Modern ERP systems are no longer just about storing and organizing data. They are about understanding it and helping us make smarter decisions. They are infused with incredible new technologies. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are being built directly into the software. An ERP system can now analyze past sales data to predict future demand, automatically detect fraudulent transactions, or suggest ways to make a supply chain more efficient. It's like having a super smart assistant working for you around the clock. This intelligence is powered by real-time data from more sources than ever before. Think about the Internet of Things. Sensors on factory machines can tell the ERP system when they need maintenance before they break down. GPS trackers on delivery trucks feed live location data into the system so you know exactly where a shipment is. Even newer technologies like blockchain are being used to create super secure and transparent records for supply chains. And of course, all of this is available on your smartphone or tablet so you can manage your business from anywhere at any time. From paper ledgers to AI-powered predictive analytics, the journey of ERP systems is a story of ever-increasing connection and intelligence. What started as a way to count parts has become the central nervous system of modern business. These systems do more than just help us work faster, they help us work smarter. They give us the insights we need to adapt to a changing world, serve our customers better, and build more resilient and efficient organizations. The future of ERP is bright, promising even more automation and intelligence to help us solve the business challenges of tomorrow. Consider that